Top 10 Killer Cucks. Cuckold. Cuck. It's one of the maximum not unusual insults of the internet generation. Infidelity elicits powerful emotions. Jealousy, embarrassment, and rage can result in violence and murder. Even the suspicion of infidelity may be deadly. And it's not simply guys. Cuckqueans, or the female companions of adulterers, will additionally kill. But it's now not continually the cheater who ends up sufferer. Cucks slay their paramours, competitors, and their partner's circle of relatives. Number 10. Headless. In New Hampshire on September 26, a cuckolded New Hampshire man killed his wife's lover and forced her to decapitate him. I'm in big trouble. Brittany Barron, 31, allegedly instructed flora and fauna conservation officers when they investigated her illegal campsite via the Maine border. The officials observed Brittany's black eye and bruises on her neck. Armando Barron, 30, used his wife's telephone to entice her lover to Annette Wayside Park. When Jonathan Amirault, 25, arrived, he discovered Armando and Brittany ready. Armando unsuccessfully tried to get his spouse to shoot Amirault earlier than forcing her to curb his wrists. Armando allegedly shot Amirault 3 instances before forcing Brittany to decapitate him and bury his head within the woods. Brittany claims that Armando punched her and compelled a gun in her mouth. Initially, police arrested Armando for the attack on his spouse. He was later charged with capital homicide. Brittany faces charges of falsifying bodily evidence. Number 9. Cornrake. Cuck. On November 10, 2018, a 13-year vintage Iowa boy found his mother impaled on a cornrake. The husband, Todd Mullis, 43, claimed it became a freak accident. He told government that his spouse, Amy, 39, had to have fallen at the rake. This principle fell apart, whilst the Nation forensic investigator determined that Amy was stabbed at least twice, with the rake inside the return. During Todd Mullis's trial, Jerry Frasher admitted he and Amy have been having an affair. If Todd filed for divorce, the hog and soybean farmer could doubtlessly lose half of his land in rural Earlville and hundreds of thousands of greenbacks. Frasher testified, she stated if he ever determined out approximately the affair, she could disappear. In September, a jury observed Todd responsible of first diploma homicide. Evidence of premeditation came from Todd's internet searches for killing unfaithful ladies and what took place to cheating spouses in historical Aztec tribes. Number 8. Driller. Killer. On a warm July evening in 2002, a Houston dentist ran over her dishonest husband multiple times in her silver S-Class 430 Mercedes-Benz. Dubbed the Driller Killer, Clara Harris headed to the Nassau Bay Hilton on a tip from personal investigators. The Colombian immigrant knew her orthodontist husband, David, had cheated on her with his receptionist, Gail Bridges, in the past. But he instructed her. It turned into over. When Harris discovered David and Gail exiting, she went greenback wild. As Gail and David tried to make it to her SUV, Harris slammed into David. Clara flipped the car around and hit David again. Finally, she pulled a 180 and ran over him a 1/3 time. A jury convicted Harris of first diploma murder. She claimed she turned into best seeking to harm Gail's SUV. Footage taken by Harris's non-public investigators helped position her away. In November 2018, Texas released Harris on parole. Number 7. The smell of death had changed into the scent of decomposition, the scent of loss of life. Recalls Chief Deputy Marty Patterson. On September 6, 2014, police arrested Timothy Jones Jr. at a DUI checkpoint in Smith County, Mississippi. Inside his Escalade, they found a bucket of chemicals, maggots, blood, and kids' garments. 3 days later, the 37 to 12 months old software program engineer confessed to murdering his 5 kids. According to the killer, the discovery that his spouse changed into having an affair with a 19-year-old boy toy triggered a breakdown. Jones beat one toddler to dying before strangling the others and wrapping them in plastic. He drove round with their corpses for a week, earlier than burying them on a hillside close to Camden, Alabama. Jones pled now not responsible by purpose of insanity. The defense claimed Jones' schizophrenia compounded with drug use and a crumbling marriage. Only July 13, 2019, it took jurors less than 2 hours to sentence Jones. Number 6. A woman scorned. I hope your mom likes being burning alive, texted a Michigan lady earlier than placing a hearth that killed her boyfriend's mother and 2 nephews. Lansing police arrested and charged Abiana Williams, 21, with 3 counts of first diploma homicide and arson. Williams allegedly set the deadly fire due to the fact she conceived her boyfriend was cheating on her. Melissa Western, 53, and her two grandsons, Aston Griffin, 8, and Jesse Klein, 4, perished in the blaze. Surveillance pictures captures the sound of glass shattering at Western's home around 11:24 p.m. on September 3. For the subsequent 15 minutes, a woman is seen pacing the street in front of the residence. Neighbors document that a female, later identified as Williams, asked for a cigarette lighter. 4 minutes later, the house became on fire. Initially, investigators believed the deadly had become unintentional earlier than receiving a tip. Approximately Williams, who allegedly advised pals of the plan. Number 5. Cross-dressing. Cuckold. In November 2019, a London man obtained a 17 years minimum sentence for beating his fiancée to death with a pull-up bar, even as she showered. Roderick Deacon White, 38, determined Amy Parsons, 35, was having an affair with a colleague, James Saunders. The nighttime of the April assault, Parsons told Deacon White that she would be spending the nighttime with Saunders. And in try to elicit sympathy, he informed her that he might commit suicide, to which she responded, "I wouldn't even come on your funeral," testified Dr. Tim Green, who carried out scientific tests of Deacon White. He misplaced it and hit her with the bar. Parsons confessed to buddies that she changed into bored with Deacon White's cross-dressing and gave him an ultimatum. Deacon White claims he attempted to curtail the kink, however observed the conduct very soothing. Testimony found out that Parsons advised her fiancé that Saunders became greater of a person than he become. Number 4. Testicle squeezing. In November 2019, a Nigerian lady killed her cheating husband through crushing his testicles. The incident happened in Akiri community, Ikpoba, local government area, Edo State. A heated argument ensued when the spouse, known simply as Ekater, accused her husband of infidelity. The husband allegedly slapped Ekater, which precipitated her to latch on to his junk. The man turned into rush to a health facility, where he changed into said lifeless. Ekater blamed her movements on possession by the devil. This is not the primary case of dying by way of manhandling. In 2017, an Indian woman killed her father in regulation, with the aid of squeezing his testicles in her hand. According to the Hindustan Times, Gao Cricketa tried to interfere in a boozy blow-up about a cockfight between his son and his spouse, Anima Carrier. Carrier grabbed the antique guy's unit and refused to allow pass. The man died immediately, noted police officer Ashok Kumar. Number 3. A message in blood. I'll be returned, the end is right here. Read the blood-scrawled message hole with a pentagram over the body of a mother of 3. In July, Newark police arrived on the residence of Kayla Kemmering for a welfare take a look at. Inside, they discovered the body of the 24-year vintage mom. Kemmering's sister notified government while she obtained a text from Christian McYoung, 24. He claimed that he killed Kayla and did no longer need her 3 younger children to witness the carnage. Newark police used GPS data from Young's telephone to understand him at a rest stop in Hocking County. In an interview with detectives, Young admitted to killing Kayla and sexually abusing her corpse. New Jersey prosecutors indicted Young on 1 remember of aggravated murder, rape, and abuse of a corpse. In an email written to the Newark Advocate, Kemmering's sister, Destiny, insists that Kayla turned into no longer dishonest on Young regardless of his accusations. Number 2. Davin's double whammy. A Pennsylvania man confessed to killing both mothers of his youngsters because of his notion of infidelity. On July 5, police determined the body of Sidney Parmalee, 23, with a gunshot to the pinnacle. Davin Anderson, 25, first of all claimed he went out for a smoke while he heard the gunshot. There isn't any evidence Parmalee wanted to commit suicide, suggested Detective Thomas Dolan. The gunpowder burns of a self-inflicted shot were additionally absent. On July 30, Kaylee Lyons, 23, turned into found in the Eagle house, also with a gunshot to the head. Anderson and Parmalee had 2 kids together. Anderson and Lyons had a 14-month antique son, and she or he became 6 weeks pregnant at the time of her loss of life. I killed Sidney. Anderson ultimately confessed. I killed Kaylee, too. Anderson revealed that he killed Parmalee for dishonest on him, and then killed Lyons, due to the fact she may flip him into police. Number 1. Horrific homecoming. In March, a Florida man killed his lady friend and her lover after being launched from jail for manslaughter. After spending a year in Osceola County Prison for failing to report to courtroom for a DUI manslaughter fee, Kenyatta Bellamy bonded out and observed that his lady friend had moved her lover into their Davenport home. He used a hammer and knife to kill the sufferers, said the Polk County Sheriff's Office. 3 days after being launched, Bellamy observed them having intercourse, so he misplaced it. After dispatching his girlfriend and her lover, Bellamy set the bedroom ablaze. The ensuing 911 call altered government to the murder. Bellamy has a lengthy rap sheet with arrests for armed theft, assault, ownership and sale of marijuana, larceny, and guns prices. He now faces first diploma murder counts, 1 be counted of tried felony murder, 1 depend of arson, and 1 depend of tampering with evidence.